Welcome, entrepreneurship students, to week 6 of 16. This is going to be a really fun next couple weeks, and because you're going to be building out your prototype for your business. So let's get at it. Let's see what we have on store for us. Um, you know, if you were in class, we'd be covering some of these things, but because this is, a short video on what how to think about this week. I'm going to skip over some of the stuff and jump right to our project. So you are actually trying to start a business. And um, we know that there are kind of three steps before you actually launch a business. There's to think of your business idea. There's to get out and test your assumptions, and that those are the interviews that you did last week. And then to refine your idea. So you have an idea, you go out and you test it, you learn a whole bunch about it, and then you refine your idea. And so this is an important step. And then lastly, you're going to build a prototype. Notice that we're not launching the full business. We're launching a prototype um, of that to see if people actually want it and are willing to pay for it. And if we get a lot of traction here, if this prototype is a big hit, now we feel really secure to launch our business and spend money and spend our time on it. So that's kind of where we're at. There are two things that are due this week. Let's get there and I'll show you what I mean. So if we go to entrepreneurship, entrepreneurs are prolific problem solvers. And then if we get to week 6, notice that I've opened up week 7 and 8. I'll tell you why in just a second, but let's get to week 6 because that's what week we're on. Well, we got a reading. It's really a video. So here's the video and then your reflection on that. You guys have been doing a great job at that, by the way, so keep up the really good work. And then we have our project. So launch your prototype. Okay, well, there's two documents here that are both the rubric and the Dropbox. You should be able to drop the Dropbox. If you're having troubles with that, let me know. But they're both due on Saturday. So let's go back and look at this. Okay, so the first thing that's due this week is your business idea. And let's explain that a little bit. So now that you've created a problem statement, you've went out and you validated that problem statement, you got some good feedback. Now it's time to write an actual business idea. And a business idea has three parts: a subject, problem, and business model. A subject, a problem, and a business model. When you put all three of those together, you have a solid business idea. So let's look. The subject is the specific segment of people who your business idea is aimed at. So this is either a person or a group of people. The problem is the pain point which your subject is experiencing. So some challenge that your subject is experiencing. And your business model, your business model is the business model you will build to solve the subject's problem and earn a profit. So that's really exciting. So you have subject, problem, business model. And when you put all three of these together in a well-crafted statement, you have a business idea. Let's go look at an example. So here is my business idea. I have a subject, people who migrate to cold weather places. Here's the problem. These people, this subject, often struggle when buying cold weather clothing, not knowing which clothing is the best. They suffer feeling cold during the winter when they are outside living their lives. So we got a subject and a problem. Now, you should you should already have quite a bit of this because of your problem statement. You may have to trim it down and rearrange it, etc. But you should have most of these two components. Well, what's the third component? It's the business model. So these people are struggling with this problem. My company will provide lessons on how and where to buy proper winter clothing. Customers will pay a one-time fee to access the materials. Customers can also purchase an upgrade to get personalized advice. So, what I just said right there is um, a business idea. We have a subject, a problem, and a business model, and that's going to be your job in this part right here. So let's go look at what that looks like. So again, I remind you that you have to write a subject, problem, business model, and that all translates to a business idea. It's worth 50 points. Um, so this basically says that you wrote that your problem statement has a subject, a problem, and a business model. So that's pretty simple. Um, the the Be Brilliant student wrote multiple drafts of the business idea, refining their wording to make it better. So, when I wrote this one, I probably wrote three different drafts of it, and I landed on this one. And so I want you to do the same. And then student incorporated learnings from their customer interviews into the business idea. And so that's what you're going to do there. So and then here's a spot for you to kind of write out some notes if you want to brainstorm. And then you're going to write your business idea right here. So this is what you're going to turn into me. Pretty exciting. All right, so that's step one, your business idea. Now uh, let's go out and look at your prototype. So project week 6 prototype design, and again here's the rubric and the Dropbox. Well, let's go look at what a prototype is. So a prototype is the smallest thing that you can build for your business that you're going to try to sell to a user to as a test to see if the market really likes your idea. And when I say the smallest, what I mean is you're going to try to trim down your business idea to the smallest thing that you can produce that people will buy. And so I'll give you an example of that, but here are the kind of the three stages we're going to go through in building your prototype. Of course, we're going to design your prototype. This is a really important step. We're going to build your prototype, and then we're going to test it. So this is going to happen over the course of 3 weeks. We're in week 6 now, week 7, week 8. And so that's how it's going to go. Now let's look at the design. So we often design with something called a customer journey map. So when we're designing a prototype, we build a customer journey map. And that pretty much looks like this. It always starts with a decision. So this is your customer kind of moving through your company. It always starts with a decision for your customer makes to go to your and potentially use your company. So maybe they got a little piece of marketing, maybe a friend told them about it, and they made the decision to go check out your company. Now, this is an example of an online cat food delivery service. So cat food delivery service, so online. So, if we're going to build a website, the customer makes a decision, then they go to your website and they want to learn more about it right away. So they drop on your landing page and maybe you tell them the price and how it works, etc. And then if they're still interested, they'll click a button to start the process. And so they want to know like what kind of cat you have, the age, the size, etc. Um, and that's going to help inform what kind of food they're going to get. And then maybe there's a blog here that someone can click on and read about their about cat food, etc. And then they can go over here and they can learn about the plans. So whether they want a weekly, monthly, or bi-monthly subscription, they can tell about the health of the cat. They can learn about shipping, so different shipping models, and then they set up an account. So if they're new to the site, they create a new account. If they're existing, they log in, etc. And then they once they do that, they get an email confirmation that it's shipped, and then boom, their cat food is shipped. So this is what we call a customer journey map. Pretty cool. It walks students, it walks customer, it shows how your customers interact with your business. Well, I made one for my company, the Cold Weather Clothing Company. So again, we start with decision. Now we get out to our customer landing on our homepage, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a section called "What is offered." It's not going to be called that, but I'm going to explain to the customer what's offered. I'm going to show them the price, and then really cool, I'm going to have testimonials of people who've used my business, and they're going to be on my site. So it's really cool. So they'll be convinced that what I'm selling them is legit. Okay, then it drops down here where they live. So I'm gonna have a little like zip code piece that they can enter, and then I'll show them all the nearby clothing stores and good places to go for cold weather gear. And then they can purchase access to the site. So I'll have a spot for them to put their name, their email, and their credit card information. And then they create a new account or log in, and then boom, once they do that, they get access to my videos and PDFs. But I forgot one over here is I can have a little section that's like send this to a friend. So if they get really excited about my company and they want to send it to their sister, boom, I'll have a little section to do that. Now, remember when I said that a prototype is the smallest thing you can build to deliver to a customer to see if they like it? Well, I I got some components in here that I don't even know that I need to build. So I got some components in here that I don't even know if I need to build. So for instance, this where they live part, it's cool, but for a prototype, I don't need it. I don't need it to validate that my basic idea is going to be good or not. That's what I'm trying to test. I'm trying to test whether my basic idea is good and is what people want. And this piece right here, where they live piece, I don't need that right away. So I'm gonna cross it off the list here. Boom, it's gone. This send a friend, I don't even need that. Later on, once the business gets rolling and I know that people like what I'm trying to sell them, I can add that in. But for now, I'm going to cross this off. Um, and lastly, I don't even know that I need this whole login structure where people can log in and have an account. I don't even know if I need that. Basically, what I need is for someone to make a decision, drop on my landing page, learn about the product, and see some testimonials. And then maybe I have like a little PayPal button that they can just buy my stuff, and then they get access to it. Now, do you see what I did there? I made this such that now I can build all of this in about 2 hours. So that's pretty cool. And that's what we want. A prototype, also known as a minimal viable product. Minimal, that means the smallest thing you can produce to test that your business idea holds weight. So that's where we're at right now. That's what you're going to be doing this week. You have a business idea statement to write, and then your design of your prototype. Now, I like sketching out my business models like this, um, uh, as opposed to doing it on the computer. So I would recommend that you do this in your entrepreneurial journal, and that's really great. So, but the main point here is that you're going to take a hard look at what you want your business to be, and then for your prototype, you're going to trim off all the things you don't need. And we're only going to produce the essentials of what it's going to take to deliver your product. Now, when you get into the build aspect, after I'm going to approve your design, then we're going to get into the build aspect. And so here's my landing page. I'm going to have a section on, again, the how, the testimonials, the price, and then the buy now button. And then when they, do the buy now button, maybe I just direct them right to the website. Like I said, I don't even know if I need all this login creation stuff. Um, and then lastly, we got to test it. And so that's choose your ideal customers to give access to your customers, get feedback on the prototype. And the big question is, will your first customers pay to use your prototype? So you're going to actually try to make a sale. So I would actually go out and try to make a sale on this. And if your customers actually buy it, then you got something. If they don't want to buy it, if they want to use it for free, well, I don't know. I don't know that you know that could be evidence that your business idea isn't hitting the mark if they're not willing to pay for it. All right, guys. Well, that is week 6. That's week 6 of entrepreneurship. I can't wait to see the great work that you guys are going to do, and reach out with questions.